them is amazing. So she's called MJ, my friend MJ. She's she's from Zimbabwe, and she's been over here for years. She's got quite a lot of family, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. She's in her 70s, and over a year ago she had a really bad fall. She actually kind of fainted, and at the same time she had hold of a bowl of cereals with milk out of the microwave. No, not warm, hot, out of the microwave. So, anyway, she cooked her shoulder, collarbone here. She just cooked it. It was very, I'm not even going to talk about it because Christmas Day. Anyway, so she really damaged and burned herself. So they had to take a skin graft. I think they took it off. Yeah, they took it off her thigh and put a skin graft on it. Kind of worked. Still kind of sticky mess. Leg didn't heal very well. Right bloody mess. But now she's starting to get better. She had real problems walking. She was getting stiffer and stiffer when she was trying to walk. She was getting slower. Now she's 70, but she's a sprightly young thing. Anyway, we were doing yoga every morning. Now, fortunately, very, very, very fortunately, I'm very therapeutic in my yoga processes, in my yoga methods. It feels playful and it feels quite scatty sometimes, but I know I've got a trauma-informed checklist in my mind. Make sure. And a lot of it I'm doing for myself because I'm in my 60s now, so I don't, I'm not going to be putting my foot behind my head and standing on one toe and fingering my malas anymore. I'm well gone are those days. I'm all about lying on your back and rolling around a little bit and having a rock around. And I'm quite good at sitting. But then when I get up to walk, I've done too many hours of sitting and my walking needs more practice. Anyway, that's what MJ was doing. She was really struggling to walk. So we did the morning's yoga. And she said, oh, well, I've got a broken back. And I said, what? I tried not to react like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, oh, that's interesting. What happened? Tell me. She went, you know when I fell, when I dropped my cereal on myself? She said, well, they didn't realise because they were so busy treating the burns. They didn't realise I had actually broken a couple of vertebrae, so they're really badly cracked, and that's what's been impacted. So they're in the L. We worked out it was L3-4, I think, or L3-2. If you know anything about spines, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's in the curve of your back. Your back goes like that, so you go down from your shoulder blades, down into your waist, and then out into your bum. Some people do that, don't they? Well, the L is on the down slope, if you like, inside the curve and on the down slope. That's the L. They're called the lumbar vertebrae. Fucking hell, I didn't realise it's going to be a Christmas Day biology lesson. Anatomy and physiology special, darling. So she broke her back. And I had no idea. Now, a cracked vertebrae, if you work with any bodies, and you know anything about anatomy, and you know anything about trauma, and you know anything about health and safety, I hate using those words, you'll know people with broken backs would only be able to do very limited, restricted types of yoga. So thank God, unfortunately for me, I'm a very good yoga therapist. And even though I couldn't see her, I just had a feeling that we needed to take it really easy because it was only the first day of the retreat. So we did that first day of the retreat session, and she didn't tell me she felt a bit better. By the second day of the retreat, she still hasn't told me at this point, by the way, that she's got a broken back. It was on the second day that she told me she had a broken back. And I said, oh, well, we need to be extra careful with you then, because if your back is broken, I can do stuff to help support where the injury is without damaging it again. And I tried to say it without looking a bit scared, because I hadn't planned it. But unconsciously, I'd already taken it into account. I didn't know that I had done that. She said to me, no, don't you worry. You've already sorted it out, because I got up to this morning after we'd had yoga. We went and we did some work in the Akashic Records with my friend Anita, and she's also going to be at the retreat in January. She's coming, so she'll be doing an Akashic record reading for the whole room, and you can also have individual readings if you want. So Anita had been doing a talk about the Akashic Records, and we needed a pen and paper, and MJ, 70-something-year-old MJ with a fucking broken back, sprinted to her room. This is in Marrakesh at the Morocco retreat. She sprinted to her room to get the pen and the paper and came back. And it was after that, after all of this, so we've done 2 yoga classes, and then she's done a dash and a run back to her room, and then she come back. I said, come on live with me, and as we're going on live, she starts telling me this story. So I'm live to TikTok, trying not to look completely horrified that I've had a woman with a broken back in my yoga class that I didn't know about for 2 days running. But what happened was she was able to run to her room. She hadn't moved like that for over a year. And interestingly, she said the last time I moved like that was after we did a long weekend yoga retreat in England, this was, and she came to that as well, and it was when she was very burned. We did a juicing retreat. She loves me, so she comes to quite a lot of my retreats. She was on the juicing retreat with the burns, but that was fresh. I wouldn't actually let her do anything. She got like baby care from me. It was like a creche at the edge of the yoga class. It was. And then we did another yoga weekend, which was 6 months later. So the healing had started to happen. The tissue healing was going on. So I could work with it then. It was out of major acute trauma, and it was into the healing process. So with all her burns, and at that point we still didn't know she had a broken back, because the hospital didn't realise for nearly a year what was going on in her back, because they were so busy worrying about the burns, you see. They'd not paid attention to the fact she was 71 and she'd fallen. She's also diabetic, by the way, so how she manages to stay as vibrant as she is must be because she's a friend and student of mine. I'll own it, thank you very much. She'd say the same thing. Anyway, so when we do yoga, even if you're 71 and you've got a broken back, you can cope with my yoga. Yeah, so there's nobody worrying about what, when I say a yoga class, people go, oh, I've never done yoga before, or oh, I can't do yoga because I'm really stiff, or they go, oh, I tried that once, I really hurt myself. So any of those responses or anything like it comes up, take it out of the reaction to me, because you've never been in a yoga class with me, and if you have, or you know anyone who has, ask them and they'll tell you. It's a different dimension, darling. I do yoga on different dimensions, on all of them, in fact. Some of them I don't even know myself, but I still do work on those dimensions. I am, what's the word? Omnipotent. Omnipotent, I am. Omnipotent. And